Cool. Is it gonna... All right. It's gonna work this time, just like that. Nice. Cool. All right. Well, happy... What the hell is today? It's not April Fool's. So it must be the day after. Like, who cares, really? Anyways. Friday. Yeah. Happy Friday. Okay. Happy spring. Happy... Yeah, it's been a little minute since I've done a live, but I've definitely put up a few other garden-related, wild foraging-related, food forest-related stuff, I guess. So... Yeah, and I don't know if I should wait for... Well, Shiitake is here. I'm so excited. That's great. I'm glad to know that there's one person that's excited. Although I'm excited, you know what I mean? Yeah. I have kind of, had a little time to germinate what or how I was going to make my approach, I guess, back online. And truth be told, as I've expressed before, I mean, we all know it takes like 3 weeks to make a new habit, right? So when I was banned on Facebook all last year, I made new habits. So the hardest thing about it, honestly, has been getting me to sit at a computer. And I do have a lot of work like that to do. So I don't know. I hear lots of words, people saying they want me doing shows. But if anyone has some actions, dude, hook me up. Cool. Thanks. All right. What up, Derek? You're dandy and not lion. Not a lion? Rawr. Okay. So I am going to be starting radio for sure. I have a start date back. Provided, no weird stuff comes. And so tentatively, and, I am taking care of almost 13 acres here by myself, minus 4 days a month. You know what I mean? So between that and some other things going on, I'm going to commit to 2 days a week right now. And I decided those days would be Moon Day and Thor's Day. So then I have a little time in between. Truth be told, I guess I'm old, or I don't know what's happening. But I used to be able to stay up till 3, 4, 5, like no problem, at least 2. And now, like, I can hardly keep my eyes open at like 9, So my shows have always been 7 to 9 in whatever time zone I was in. But that time slot, is obviously has been taken. So my option is 9 to 11 my time or before. So I'm going to try to do the later one, and maybe the cats will let me get a good night's sleep one of these days. Yeah, but if I have to switch it, I have to switch it. No big deal. All the information about upcoming shows and stuff will be found on ChristieAphrodite.com. I just figured out I got some help because I forgot how to add like a page and a category, and there'll be drop-down menus for the live videos, the Coffee with Christie videos, so it's all there. Go check it out. I just haven't filled out like the Project Love Your Neighbor, Pimp My Tent, and live videos. There's like none of these videos I've done here all year are on the site. So I'm going to vow to get my 29-degree disorganized fish-tard Pisces ascendant and try to like buckle down and commit to schedules. It's been a long ass time since I've had a schedule for anything. You know what I mean? And again, being kicked offline for a year, and then those other couple, I new habits, moved into a house, I have a dream, you know, I have a passion and goals, and I want to build my food forest. So that became my habit. So I'm working on sitting here more often. And yeah, so the show will be starting. The first day back will be next Monday night. So not the one in a few days from now, but the one in like 10 days. So, so there's that. And I might have a pimp daddy, like, and I've never had a pimp, obviously, because, you know, I mean, in some cases they're important. And in my case, they definitely are, because, you know, I'm a scatterbrain and I have to be busy creating and fucking talking to God or dead people or trees or something like that, you know, to be at my full capacity. So that means I'm not really good at the nuts and bolts and website stuff and making money in business. You know, I'm just good at creating shit. So I need like a boss or a pimp or, you know, helpers to help me, you know, make it palatable, right? And so I'm not going to tell you who my pimp is right now because, you know, I want to get it done. But I'm just saying I'm going to have a pimp. And, you know, it's been a long time coming for me to kind of update my holistic health coach offerings and such. And I have way many other skills that I'm going to be able to share, hopefully in an arena where people appreciate it. Because I think it's fucking about time. You know what I'm saying? All right, Derek, Casey, DJ, how's it going, guys? Yeah, so I'll have a pimp daddy. Things are going to be changing. And, you know, and about my true essence, like their prices have gone up since those prices were made based on the prices that were paid when I initially bought the first batch of products. And a few batches later, here we are in 2021. Even those tiny little tins, dude, those $2 a piece. Yeah, the only coconut oil I could get was $300 plus $100 in shipping, so $400. Like, you know, just like garlic went from $2.99 to $10.29, and everything else is going up. So are my costs and supplies. So there's, yeah, I'll just say this. If you have been on the fence about something like, say, a coaching session or trying a product or whatever, I can't guarantee these prices forever, and I will have kind of business partners. But I do want to say, as far as like samples and things like that, I did order new glass jars and smaller essential oil bottles, roller bottles, in fact, the 5 ml size, so I can put together tester packs for people who just don't know what to try. And if you're going to go and buy a 4 ounce and like 5 of them all at once, that's a lot of money, you know? But dude, they work and they last. And yeah, so in fact, there's been some really amazing recent testimonials that you can find at mytruessence.net and click on the testimonial tabs. Although there's like hundreds more in the product reviews themselves. But yeah, so a couple really good new ones are there. And I'm really excited. So I just feel like it's time to, you know, break out of my germination period and step forth again, because I am passionate about these things, obviously, and keeping them a secret, you know, doesn't really feel good. So, and I will be doing probably a live video, it'll be all about my true essence. So I'll show you every single product, talk about every one of them, answer your questions, stuff like that. And that'll be soon. As for, I know people suggested they wanted more medical info, stuff like that. I've been trying to include things in a way that won't get me erased again. So that's why, I've been doing more gardening stuff and wild foraging and things like that, which I definitely am going to do more of that. But the radio show is going to be more intensive. You know what I mean? Because I can say things there that I don't ever have to worry about. Nobody's going to censor me there at all, ever. I'm not going to lose my 13th channel. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just tired of that. And yeah, so all of the like hardcore herb stuff is just going to be on my website and on the radio show. And if that's what you want more of, that's where you have to go to get it. So I'm just not going to put myself in a position to, be a target anymore. It's just dumb. Learned my lessons well. So kind of. I still suck at a lot of things. I still talk too much shit. And I accidentally tell many too many Nazi cunts to suck my dick. So I may never learn, but I am improving. All right. I guess that's enough intro. Maybe I should light my magical spliffy spliff. And let's see if I can tap into spirit and hopefully share. Here's a nice little piece of sage. So this censorship topic, obviously, if you've been here once before, I'm celebrating 16 years of censorship. And I haven't exactly liked it, okay? But sometimes when we grow or come to new realizations, actually all the time, we have to also accept that the opposite is true, right? And so I kind of had a thought stream the other night, but I was too tired to turn on the camera because I'm an old fucking fogey curmudgeon, I guess, who can't stay up past 9 o'clock anymore. Yeah. I wanted to have more time before I started the show to do my stretches and things. But I've got kitties. It just, Yeah, because obviously it would be ideal to talk to God before I turn the camera on, right? Yeah, so and you guys know, I don't ever prepare shit. I just whatever. Diarrhea, it's okay. It's not bad. If you could cure your diarrhea with the dandelions. Okay, one more announcement before I get started. Also, so on Twitter the other day, I mentioned something about the food forest, and they're like, oh my God, that sounds so cool. Where can I learn more about that? So I'm like, So there was a picture on my phone, and then I'm like, well, my Facebook page has some pictures, and then my YouTube page has some videos, and, there's some stuff on Instagram. So I'm like, that's kind of actually stupid, especially if I'm making it a reality and, make it real. So I set up a Facebook page for people who want to stay up to date on what I'm building here. So it's called Ozarks Church of Nature and Magical Food Forest. And I think the URL is facebook.com/Ozarks Church of Nature. But I'm sure you can find it at, I'm the only one. So anyways, I'm going to try to make, one post a day of something that's going on or whatever. And by the way, yesterday was 1 year anniversary from when I first walked in this house knowing that it was mine. I mean, on the building inspection, I knew, but I was still on the road all that time and still had to get back to Washington. And I'm like, dude, do you think there's any way I can like rent this for now so I can rest for a minute, regroup, unpack my van, so I have room to even sleep in it at this point. Kitty and heat, right? So yeah. And then of course, Shashara disappeared for a night, or I don't even remember if it was one night or two, but yeah, it might have just been one. And then now I have 7 cats and there's more on the way. So that'll be really interesting. So yeah, there's all sorts of updates. So like I said, I'm going to focus on doing the show moon days and Thursdays. And so I had an idea about live video series I wanted to do. And I don't know, let me know what you think actually. But I accidentally spent my household monthly food budget on books, and because I need more books, right? Yeah. Well, I was thinking, since people want more herb info, like if I'm reading out of a book, I can't get in trouble, right? Like I'm not saying anything. So I thought it would be fun to go through like pages and you guys just pick a page and pick a book and just flip to it. And then we read that, right? So I thought that would be kind of fun. And so we can kind of learn together. And all the books obviously are like herbs and oils and stuff like that, but they're all different perspectives. But yeah, the new ones look pretty cool. And I thought it would be a good way to learn together. So if you guys like that, then I'll do that once a week. And then we'll get back and talk to you about the big pimpin'. All right. So censorship. And don't shoot the messenger. And I'm not saying that this is always true. I'm not even saying it's true at all. I'm just saying that this is another perspective that we might want to consider in our path of self-reflection, right? Because without true self-reflection and without true change, everybody wants to change the world, but they don't want to get off their own ass and look in their own damn mirror. And obviously, if you're here and you came back, then you kind of like, my no nonsense approach. It's not because I'm judging you or, but I'm not going to lie about the actions. And in my opinion, telling people the truth, the whole truth as I know it and as I experienced it and as I receive it is love. So I have never shared an untruth in anything like regarding healing or how I got there. And like we've talked before about in my homelessness, I didn't have a juicer, right? I didn't have access to organic produce. I ate whatever I was blessed to even have. I even had fake coffee and crap I would have never touched previously and definitely won't touch today. You know what I mean? Like, and I still found a way to heal, right? So I think you guys know by now that my message is there's something deeper, and my goal, my agenda is to help you find that within yourself, right? So my nudges And my harsh truths aren't supposed to be harsh, like to cut somebody with a knife. They are supposed to maybe more like punch you in the gut or slap you in the face and fucking, wake up. Because I wish somebody did that to me. I wish somebody cared enough about me to tell me the truth, especially after frickin' 30 years of doctors suffering. You know what I mean? Yeah. So whatever. Obviously, if you came back, you're okay with my approach. So here's the other side. On censorship. Now, as we all know, 16 years for me. So I've had a lot of time to think about it, right? I've had a lot of time to get angry about it. I've had a lot of time to cry about it, and poor me. Dude, even my work was erased. And like my sites were even completely erased from archive.org as if they never existed. Okay? So, and all those missing videos, the tutorials, the herbs, the teaching people all this shit for free that people didn't give a fuck about anyways, like I have not enjoyed the last 16 years of censorship. It's also kind of messed with me in this last year, lighting a fire under my butt to try to get back online. Because, like, what's the point? Everything I want to say or do, or everything about me, everything I talk about is illegal, And it was for me 15 years ago, way before you all thought that was possible, right? Many of you just thought, oh, well, she must have been doing something wrong because, so-and-so can talk, or so-and-so, what I'm, right? You guys fucking blamed me, and maybe not like you right here, right now, but 16 years of this, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty seasoned. I think most of us here agree that life we're basically here in Earth School, right? And in our Earth School, we have definitely established the theory, I won't say fact, the idea that we're not all in the same class, right? And like, dude, even back in elementary school, I was always in trouble, and not for being a bad kid, but for being too good, too smart, cocky of a kid. Like, before the question was even completely finished out of the teacher's mouth, my hand was up. I know. Or I was blurting out the answer. Like, I couldn't fucking help it. Okay? Like, I kind of have always been that way. Speak first, think later, maybe. And so these have been harsh lessons for me, right? I've trusted the wrong people that have twisted things around. I've been, whatever. And so in that walk, I'm at a point where it's awesome. It's an awesome weeding out process. I see who the two-faced people are, the real people, the ones that follow the herd, So that's why I'm not shocked or affected in any way by anything that's going on today, right? Because I already lived it. So the other side of censorship. Now, I have to paint that fan. Okay. So if we're in an Earth School, like, dude, we've all been in some type of school, right? How did your teachers take to cheating? And like in high school, there's people that I still keep in touch with that, and when I showed up at parties like 3 years ago, they're like, oh my God, I used to cheat off of you all the time. And they're like, oh, I did. Yeah. So, and I didn't really usually care, I don't know. Why not spread the information, right? And it was so easy for me. I didn't have to take books home and still got straight A's. Like, I remembered everything that I heard or saw, And so, whatever, if you forgot, it's, here's the answer. I don't care. This has not kept me out of trouble. And we can fast forward all these years later and 16 years of already being censored. Here's the question. If this is our school, like we've already pretty much all agreed, and if we're all in different grades and different classes, right? Our different unique experiences, and our teachers are these people that we don't really like that much, right? Whatever you want to call them, Illuminati or fucking whatever, controllers, elite. I don't call them any of that. They're not, they might be a little illuminated and they are control freaks, but they're not my controllers and they're definitely not elite. And you know what I mean? So whatever you call them, they are our teachers, like it or not, right? We're all students and teachers from one another and for one another, of one another. Sorry. And there's teachers we don't like, right? But those harsh lessons are the ones that we learn the most from. Hence, look at my harsh ass years. You know what I mean? Compare me today to the Christie before. All right? So if all of that is true, and this is our Earth school, maybe the censorship is necessary because we keep cheating and helping the lower grades cheat when we're shouting all these truths from the rooftop, right? Casting our pearls before swine and trying to, get these other people to skip class, right? Yeah, and skip the work and just pass the test because, we're just doing our duty trying to save them. But how fucked up is that really? Like, who can we really save but ourselves? And thinking that we have to save somebody else comes from that egotistical, control freaky kind of thing, right? So maybe there were too many of us waking up and too many of us wanting to just spread the word and teach everybody else how to pass the classes that they never even started yet. And you wonder why they can't see what we see. They haven't gotten to that grade yet, So the censorship thing, again, I don't like it. I have not enjoyed it. It's hurt me in a lot of ways over the years. I don't give a fuck now. There's nothing anyone else can do or say to affect me at this point in time. But it was a huge source of misery for at least 15 or something of those years, right? So I'm not in any way like condoning censorship. I'm totally against it. I don't think anything should be censored at all. I pretty much don't even think anything should be illegal. I think, but from a higher perspective, if this is an Earth school and there's, these are all tests, right? We're going through, how could you not say 2020 was not a test? All right? Like, you don't have to believe in a God or anything to realize that all that shit was a test. Okay? So are we passing or are we failing? And I know even I like to think that I am freaking passing with flying colors, but I got to check myself too, because I'm still that stupid kid fucking from elementary school. I know. And trying to cast my pearls before swine and give all the answers to people who haven't even entered that grade. They don't even know enough to ask these questions that we ask or that we discuss. Right? Like, how do you talk to a 2-year-old? How do you talk to a 7-year-old? How do you talk to a 12-year-old? An 18-year-old? How does a senior in high school talk to a freshman? And yeah, maybe kids can be bullies and shit like that, and the older kids don't want to be seen with the younger kids. But maybe there's something to that. You know, the 6th graders didn't want to hang out with us 4th graders and give us the answers to pass the test. So what the fuck are we doing? Why do we think that we have the answers to save everyone? Maybe we have the answers to save our fucking self, or allow ourselves to cope, or make it through our grade level, hopefully passing. But do we have the right to take somebody else's path away from them? No. We have the right to be there as an example for when people are ready for the next grade level, right? We don't stand over the flower in the garden and say, God damn it, bloom now, right? So, yeah, what if it isn't all bad? What if there are higher reasons for these uncomfortable things to happen? And if you were listening to your fucking higher self, you wouldn't be uncomfortable right now anyways, because you would have done the work, you would have been prepared, you'd have seen it coming, and your life would not be affected at all right now. That's the true litmus test. If you did the work by 2020, like I warned you in fucking 2018 or maybe even 17, yep. And again and again and again in 18 and 19 and 20, and I kept telling you, that's the litmus test. If you did the work, your life is fine right now. You don't have a care in the world. You're not affected by masks or vaccines or job loss or whatever, period, end of story. It is not a judgment, it's a fact. And that's why I've been so passionate to warn you guys to try to take you fucking with me, to be the example for the last 17 fucking years. Like this gardening, food forest, like all this shit I do now, this isn't new. I've been doing it and teaching it for free all those years. And here's the funny part about it. Oh, well, you're supposed to give knowledge for free, or, oh, that's the right thing to do. Even I convinced myself that, I can't earn money off of, my knowledge. Well, what that did, that got me fucking homeless. Yeah. And did the people that I gave all that freely to cast my pearls before? Did these swine give a fuck that I needed toilet paper while living in my car? No. Did they think for 1 minute that I might need to eat? No. And did they respect the information enough to utilize it and use it to help themselves? No. They treated me as a doormat or a novelty item that they could just call when, they're having a rough day and they want to just, get immediate gratification or some easy answer for right here, right now, because they don't want to do the work, right? Hi, Bear. But if you did the work, and look, it ain't too late. It's like, okay, well, you failed and, there's no chance. There's always more chances, but they don't get easier. You know what I'm saying? I think I kind of screamed through the rooftops about all of this stuff going on. And I really hope, I don't want to see people suffer, I hope, I want people to listen and find out the easy way. I don't want you to suffer how I did, Duh! Why would I sacrifice my life for no pay to do this for how many years if I didn't care? Bear. Okay, baby. I shouldn't let him on the desk here, but okay. So, yeah, priorities, man. You guys like the pretty packages, the ease, the comfort. It ain't gonna get you anywhere, but really think about it. Like, maybe the message in this mass censorship is stay in your own fucking lane. Focus on your own path. Who cares what everyone else is doing, right? Biden, Trump, Clinton. Who cares? Who cares? They don't care about you, Yet you, give away, you pay literally with your life and your soul, your attention to what? To these people that don't give a fuck about you? Where are you sharing your energy, right? Do we Think about all the people you've tried to save or help or whatever, okay? I got a long ass list. Did they appreciate it? No. You know who did appreciate it? The ones who did the work and came to you, right? So one of my favorite things to say, is never do for another what they refuse to do for themselves. And I learned that, in my path when I said it back then, like people would, oh, I want gardens like yours. Come help me build my garden and I'll pay you or all the, this, that, or blah, blah, blah. And then you get there and, they're talking all this gardening stuff. And then you get there and you see they've never, ever had their hands in the dirt. And then you build it for them and then they don't appreciate it. And then they don't pay you because they don't even know what the work is. And, it's the same with this game of life in this sometimes difficult and confusing earth school. But if we're really staying in our own lane, focusing on our own heart path, our own passions, our own unique reason for being here, right? And that's between you and your creator, whoever, whatever that is, right? It's not for me to tell you what to do or who to be, or your parents, or your children, or your lover, or your boss. It's up to you. I think that's all I have to say about this censorship right now. I'll take a little break, smoke the spliffy whiffy, and read some comments. And if you have any questions, but yeah, that's what I have to say about the other side of censorship. Is it really that bad? Or is it just a reminder to shut the fuck up, focus on yourself, build your dream, build your food forest, build your skills for whatever your goal is, right? Take care of your own children, take care of your own affairs. Is your closet clean? Is your yard work done? Is your bed made? Isn't that why we're here? To live our path? So when you look at it like that, is the censorship really all that bad? I mean, and again, as a human, I am totally, completely against it. I am speaking from another place of possibilities that kind of made me realize a few things, just because we don't know all the rules of the game of life or we don't like them all doesn't mean they're not there. And, the sooner we figure these things out, the easier it is. So, all right. So I'm going to take a breaky wakey if you have any questions. All right. So, and thanks again for being here. Artist group, how's it going? I swear I recognize that name from somewhere, but and another video I have to do is life after brain damage. And obviously share the hope that you can, heal yourself, but you might not remember every single thing about every single thing. And yeah, but anyways, I'll save this for that because it's break time. Water. Casey says pimping is necessary. That church of yours is very inspirational. And yeah, I'm calling it a church, but it's not a church like I'm a churchist or, what I mean? A preacher. Or, I guess kind of in a way I talk a lot of shit, right? But it's not like that, like session or anything like that. It's just because to me, nature, that's my church. And I hope that other people, as I continue to build this, will find as much peace and healing and solace in it. And that they'll feel comfortable enough to come and just pick up the herbs and make a tea and read a book and enjoy it. I mean, how could I not share it? It's gorgeous, and it's getting more gorgeous every day in that view. And, you know, I'm putting a lot of work in it, making it extra peaceful and healing. So, yeah, I'm gonna, you know, it's like Noah's Ark. People thought Noah was crazy. Or even in Washington, y'all thought I was crazy building what I did. Turns out I needed it. Well, you know, you can think I'm crazy for this, but I'm telling you, I know we need this. So, and obviously that's been my first priority, but I'm trying to learn to balance it. And also, you know, because I am passionate about teaching or sharing and trying to help people avoid the tough classes or learning curve, you know, the unnecessary suffering, really, like medical trauma, vaccine, things like that. That's completely unnecessary, right? You want affordable healthcare? Don't cry to a fucking puppet. Walk out in your backyard or front yard or park or neighbor's yard or whatever and pick some weeds that have way more nutrition you're going to get in a grocery store. Yeah. I love this time of year because I've been getting a salad a day, you know, and things are definitely, I could probably make 2 salads a day. Then pretty soon it'll be too many salads a day, and then I'll have to put a booth out front. But okay. So when's recess? Hilarious, Derek. That's an interesting theory. Never looked at it that way. Artist group, Vitamix donation. Oh, dude, from I think it's like a 1963 or something. I still have it. I was able to hold on to it during my homelessness. Yep. In fact, every gift that anyone ever gave me, which isn't really that many, but I still have them all. I was able to preserve them. I lost all the, you know, valuable shit or whatever, but I got the gifts and feathers and dirt and rocks. Okay. Do you think that social media has made people more confused and less free thinking? Definitely. Dude, what's that Black Mirror episode? It's all about like social media and social credit score. It's been a few years since I saw it. Somebody help me out. The blonde chick and wants her perfect little house in paradise and signs up for, I don't know. Anyways, then she misbehaved and lost all these points and ended up in jail cracking up. But then she was finally happy and free for the first time. I can't remember the name, but I think that depicted it perfectly. I mean, how many people are literally in the same household and staring at their phone, right? So, and most people have TV on top of that. So they're accepting all these waves here and probably on Wi-Fi. So what's going on there? And then the boob tube going with subliminal messages every, 1/10 of a freaking second these days? Yeah, in HD, or I don't know. I think even HD is outdated now. Yeah, so people are getting the same thing cemented over and over and over. And then the anti-social aspect, people can sit on the same couch and not even be talking to each other. They're looking at their device, you know? So, and what sucks about that is it's desocialized people, so they don't even know how to deal with the people on the other couch or in the chair in their living room. And they think that these fake people online are, and obviously, some of us are real, right? We're here, we're talking, we have established relationships, we've seen pictures or videos, or you know what I mean? But a lot of them out there are not real. They're bots or people that have multiple accounts that are trying to sway peer groups and cause damage and separation, division within peer groups, right? Because, well, we already know Story and Divide. We've already done those shows. So so people make real relationships with fake people and experience all these artificial emotions, right? With these fake people, thinking that they fucking care about them. Yeah, while ignoring the people right in front of them. And, the fake personas online are so much cooler than the boring people in front of you. So they're obviously the expert. And that's why, like, when I was slandered profusely like that, people that even knew me in person believed strangers online. Yeah, didn't come to me, the person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's appealing to fit in with cooler crowds, but again, it's all linked to your own self-development that only we are ultimately responsible for. We can blame controllers, we can blame chemtrails, we can blame vaccines, we can blame politicians, we can blame skin color, we could blame religion, we could blame all this stupid shit, right? But you're not going to get healing like that. So you want to change the world, you want to change out there, we got to change ourselves. And sometimes that includes learning to shut the fuck up, which has been like a big lesson, right, in my life. Obviously, I was censored a long ass time. There's a reason, right? So what's the ultimate lesson? And that's what I tried to share with you tonight. So yeah, more confused and less free thinking. Absolutely. Love your new dandelion video. It's so sad how dandelions have been demonized. I agree. Thank you. Kimmy, hello. Love you too. Airgun Ninja, what up? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. That Black Mirror episode. I can't think of the name for the life of me. I remember she couldn't get on a plane, vaccination passport, anybody. Well, yeah, social credit score. It was all linked. Everybody had their phones and just, yeah, they don't like how that person is acting right now. A complete stranger, but they don't know what happened 20 seconds before that, 20 minutes before that. You know what I mean? Like, how would you act if you just totaled your car, or your mom just died, or you just missed a plane, or you know what I mean? How would you act? Are you going to be perfect? Is every stranger standing by going to give you a perfect 10? You know? Yeah. So, all right, Dominic, how's it going? Hello. Why were you picking just the flowers from the dandelions? Because they're not big enough for greens and roots aren't going to come up till like fall. The bigger ones I eat the leaves on, and the flowers I'm dehydrating to make oils and stuff with later. So there's going to be a day where I wake up and the whole yard is going to be yellow. And so I'm trying to make it so I don't get overwhelmed and try to do everything all at once. And I can kind of build up my herb supply. Now, all right. Sad face back now. Don't feed the beast. That's right. Okay. So, yeah, all right. Not a lot of questions tonight, but yeah. So yeah, I guess if you saw that video, I talked about some of the things you can do with dandelions. But yeah, I'm gonna turn this one into an oil after I get a jar full. And then we'll see what I end up with at the end of the season. But if I can fill a tray a day, then by the end of the year, it might be a gallon. I don't know. But yeah, it's all going to end up being medicine or skincare. We'll call it skincare because that's what makes people happy. Derek. Oh, in fact, this last cream I made. I wish you can smell it. But here, I'll just like get a little out so you kind of know like what the texture and consistency looks like. Yeah, I'll put it on. Oh my God. It's so uplifting, but this one has dandelions and other things too, but it has actually been healing a lot of shit really well. God, and it just sounds so good, but it is so uplifting. And somebody actually told me today that they were feeling super unmotivated, didn't want to do anything, and then decided to reach for that cream and just put it on. It felt so good. It smelled so good. And then she just like went back to work and did all her things and just like, oh, wow, this feels great. Like, or lack of motivation or whatever just disappeared. And aromatherapy is a thing. I've done those shows. We talked about the science, you know, and I just really, this is where I'm at now. If I have to repeat myself, you have to pay me. You know what I'm saying? And in fact, somebody else I talked to, she's like, I didn't even have to book a session with you because all the answers I needed were free in your videos. I'm like, duh! You know, like, that's why they're there. And so that's why I'm like, okay, with all this censorship, or then, you know, do you think when you instant message me that you're the only one instant messaging me, asking me to, you know, what herb do I take to solve this problem? Dude, suck my dick. Watch my videos. I'm not going to prescribe shit like that anymore. I am only dealing with the whole package. People that are serious about healing. If your question is, what do I take for this? I ain't your coach. That's another video I have to do too. Why you don't want me as your health coach. But I am going to be adding other things. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have a pimp. So, yeah, I'll be kind of expanding my services. And, you know, you've heard me talk about Humanity Awakening, and I have the website and the Facebook, you know, ever since 2014. But, you know, the domestic goddess arts, and, you know, people like my information about the kitchen and the garden and the weeds, and a lot of sessions or whatever I have, people will, you know, say they have this thing, and I'll just be like, okay, tell me what herbs or weeds or whatever you have on hand, and I'll just help you make something, right? Or what oils do you have? Like, you know, it isn't my goal to like be a storehouse to sell everyone shit. Like, look at my path, look at my channel. It's been about teaching you how to do it for yourself and giving it away for free. Well, those days have kind of ended because I'm really tired of having a maxed credit card. You know what I mean? So yeah. So yeah, that's basically the bottom line. If you make me repeat myself, you have to pay me. You have to sign up for a session. If you want information that I've already said 10 times in my free videos, that literally I know for a fact, if you watched them or listened to them all, you would know how to cure every single dis-ease you have ever heard of. Okay? Yeah. Including trauma and PTSD. So 15 years later, that's where I'm at. You want me, after all that censorship, after fighting to repost the stuff that was recoverable, and you know what I mean? Yeah, so that's how it is these days. I want to hear your thoughts on what I had to say about censorship, though. I don't want you to say, oh yeah, that's a cool idea, and then start talking about something else. I want to hear Like, is that as crazy as I normally am? Is that something you have to sleep on? Has anyone else had those types of revelations or something completely different, right? Okay. There we go. I haven't seen anybody cough or sneeze in public for a year. Maybe someday the same will be true of laughing and crying. Aw, dude. If anybody hasn't seen or read The Giver, yeah, I totally agree with that, Derek. It will be completely void of laughing and crying one day. And okay, case in point, when they were terrorizing me, stalking me, slandering me, daily fucking attacks, what did they attack the most? When Joe Rogan called me a fucking CIA agent, yeah, or joked or whatever, and then blamed me for that fucking demon's actions that, yeah. What were the thousands of posts in the Joe Rogan forum about? My laugh. What is almost every single negative comment on this channel about? My laugh. Yeah. And then there's just as many about crying. Oh, well, you should just put on a pretty face. So you have an ugly cry face. Or, oh, you know what I mean? Yeah. They have been trying to extinguish emotions for decades. Why? Because emotions, energy in motion, that's where the magic is at. The passion, right? And I'm not saying being owned by your feelings. Feelings and emotions are different, right? The emotions are the power behind it. The feeling is temporary, okay? So yeah, yes, there will definitely be a time. But I think, what did they say? In 2050, 70% of births will be in a test tube. Anyone who has too many emotions, they have a diagnosis and are convinced they need to take pills. Come on, this isn't new. You know, they put most of our mothers on fucking coke, right? Benzos, fucking Adderalls, you know, our children are on fucking coke or meth, even worse, right? Pills. Yeah, so absolutely, they are definitely, the teachers, right? The mean teachers, I should say, because they're not the only teachers, but they're the mean teachers testing us. So yes, the mean teachers, the detractors, the distractors, the parasites, the vampires, whatever you want to call them, yes, they want to extinguish everybody's light, not just a few targeted individuals, you know, and the proof is that some dude wears a red shirt. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, anyone who goes against what the mean teachers want, you know, is targeted, right? All right. Social media are all private companies, so they can make whatever rules they want. Yeah, technically they can. Yeah, just like businesses. If they want to say you have to wear a mask to come in, they can do that. And that's where we have to choose. Like a lot of people with the Instagram thing, they would talk shit about it, but they're still there. I'm not. You know, when is enough on your phone, right? So I can look at it on this computer if I want to, but I'll tell you what, removing social media from my phone, if you want to have a chance at experiencing more life, remove social media from your phone, and don't stop there. Turn your goddamn ringer off, you know? Answer your phone when you know that you're expecting a call or something like that. Other than that, you fucking keep your phone over there. You stay in your lane, stay on track, get your shit done. When you're done, then you pick up the phone. Oh, I missed a text from, okay, cool. Like, your life will improve so much overnight by not being a slave to your phone, right? Like, since when is somebody calling you more important? There used to be a day we didn't have phones in our pockets. You know what I mean? It was connected to a wall upstairs somewhere. And if you were home and you could make it up there in time, you can answer it. If not, whatever. What did you do? People used to call people while they were driving. And guess what? We kept driving because we didn't give a fuck, because we didn't have a phone in our pocket, right? Put that shit down. Limit your time. Have your fun. I'm not saying don't ever use it. Turn your ringer off. Remove social media. You choose, your gap of time when you're going to go there, and see how many more skills you learn at the end of the month. Try it. By the way, that last challenge I gave everyone about, what was it called, Will? Good triumph over evil. Did anybody actually follow through with that? And if so, I'd like to hear about it. All right, social media. Okay, you did that. All right. I have lots of oregano, various mints, mullein, etc. just growing all over. I let it grow wild. All awesome. I just dried some more oregano a couple days ago, transplanted more mullein, and I'm just really loving my babies. I can't wait. And the mints are coming back up. I didn't know there was a ginger mint and an apple mint, but I saw it at the local nursery. So I'm like, all right, I got a lot of grass to cover. So, yeah. All right. So where were we? Okay, every year I get a new weed coming up here in masses. I used to mow them down, but seriously, thanks to you, I appreciate more like, awesome. Dude, when I used to do sessions and like help people with, they'd say, what can I take for this? Or what can I do that? And I'd be like, what kind of weeds do you have in your yard? Well, I'm not really sure. So they'd go take a picture and send it to me. I'm like, that's fucking wild lettuce. You need that for pain. Or that's mullein. Oh my God, you need that. So the exact conditions they were complaining about, the solution was already in their yard. So if you have whatever it is, a rash, a fungus, kidney stones, whatever, heart arrhythmia, asthma, whatever it is that you have and you don't want, go see what weeds you have in your yard, right? If you don't know what they are, download an app. There's a cool one called Picture This. I think you get like 3 a day for free, but I swear it was like $20 or something for the year, and it's been invaluable. So there's that. Yeah. So, all right, back to questions and more water. I have a question. It's very important to me at this time. Can you help me helping my 17-year-old Cocker Spaniel comfortable as she's ending her life soon? Cannabis paste, dude. Cannabis paste, Modifilan, diatomaceous earth. There was a dog that was here recently that was not doing good. And now he is. And those things have also helped kitties. Also, certain essential oils, like, I don't know what kind you have, but most flower ones, like, say, rose or lavender or lemon balm. Well, that's not really a flower, I guess, but, that's okay for them. And it's really relaxing. So, like, one of the things, I've used it in the past on pets too, is like the Sweet Days. See, I don't have to just go grab single oils. I already have things made. So I grabbed this one, which is called Sweet Daisies, and oh, Jupiter, I love you. And I'll just put it on their temple, and that seems to kind of help. But yeah, the DE, especially with this particular dog from a few weeks ago, it's helped him tremendously. So seaweed is good, cannabis paste, obviously not too much cannabis paste, right? Or RSO or something like that. Those are good. And I don't, depending on whatever problems, like, sometimes you have to make a tea for them. There was this cat, well, a dog too, but, and so they tell me what they need, okay? And so for this one, he needed yarrow, for internal bleeding and some other herbs. And so I made that tea. Oh, also oils are good. And what's the most important thing I'm leaving out? Raw food, dude. Give them raw food, a raw meat, a raw heart, a raw fish, a raw whatever, and that usually gets them back in their like primal instinct kind of thing. Kidneys, hearts, livers, things like that are good. And if they need it cooked, that's fine too, but try the raw because that usually gives animals a jump start, like big time. Yeah. What else? Oils. So like coconut oil or fish oil, but not the stupid fish oils that have flavorings, right? What's the point of doing something good if you're going to have a freaking flavoring in it, and a coloring or whatever. So yeah, those are my best recommendations without knowing what's wrong that I know for a fact due to multiple experiences that all of those will help. So, okay. Air gun. Sometimes my many different types of lettuces I grow will morph into the wild type, and I grow wild types too. Good Indian medicine for pain. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so wild lettuce, of course. So I missed the earlier talk. Rosie, how's it going? My light pink roses turned dark maroon after about 10 years. Wow. Well, it's natural to hybridize naturally, right? All hybrids aren't GMO. It's just you could grow two different cucumbers next to each other in your own yard. And each generation of seeds, is going to end up a little bit different. Oh, Jupiter baby. Here, you got to see how adorable he is. Hello. I love it when you look at me like that. You're just staring. Jupiter. So Jupiter is the tripod for those of you who don't know, and he's the daddy. Oh, I love you, baby. Show us that cute little belly. Show us that cute little belly. Yes, you're so precious. You come over here when you want some loving, okay, baby? Yeah. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a little off. Whatever. Fuck it. There. I'll just sit back. Further. Okay. Oh, you missed the earlier talk about my another way to look at censorship. Well, that's a bummer. Because I don't really want to repeat it because then it'll be super boring for the people that in the replay, talking about it twice. Okay, let's see. Maybe censorship will help people to think more for themselves. I don't know. Yeah, I would hope so. Again, if everything is a test, if we're in a school, then why wouldn't that be a possibility? It's happened, right? Because some people are waking up. And when you have only yourself to rely on, right? Your mom's too afraid to see you, or your kids are too afraid to see you, or whatever, then you know what I mean? You're going to have to mull those things over in your mind. or maybe books, or maybe Scroogle, or whatever, right? So yeah, I think that that's, yeah, okay, so where are we? I really want to ease her suffering and make her as comfortable as possible, because he's really speaking loud truth tonight. Sorry if I got too loud. But yeah, definitely the cannabis paste if you can make that. And if you don't know how, my channel, just type in cannabis, and then there's the off-grid version, but I know you're not off-grid, so take the newer version. And it's super simple. Oh, dude, it's amazing what it can do. So totally on point, dear. Oh, really, Casey? So you actually agree with that theory, we'll call it. It just, I had that epiphany and I'm like, oh my God, I get it now. And again, I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying that what if it's kind of necessary. So, all right, mother's little helper. I get a ringa from creditors, and it zaps my battery. Half the time it's dead. A ringa? I have typos all the time, so sorry. But I read them as if there are no typos, and I'm learning new words or something. I have never had a cell phone, only Skype. Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, you remember landlines. You are old. Is it past your bedtime? Well, one of my good friends says when I start singing the banana song, then it's past my bedtime. So if I say like, banana, banana, then just shut the fuck up and go to sleep. Campolito, how are you? I think you're right on about the censorship. Maybe we can make these things happen to ourselves so we can learn the lesson and advance in Earth School. Yeah, cool. I'm glad it's not too wild. I almost thought I'd get punched in the face, but you can't punch me because you're there and I'm here. Yeah, and your black magic doesn't affect me. If there are any of you out there. Yeah. It's definitely something to think about. You know what I mean? And it does make sense to me, because how is it any different than elementary school or high school? We can't give the younger grades the answers. Not then, right? We fail, they fail. It makes perfect sense to me, but yeah. What do I know? 29-degree Pisces ascendant. Okay. Trump is making his own social media company, and Parler is working again. And there's also Telegram. Wow. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if I had a helper to help me with all this stuff and they had time to do that, that's fine. And Christie Aphrodite could have a presence in other places. But taking care of 13 acres by myself, 7 cats with more on the way, my business. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't have time to investigate or keep up with any more social media. It's just too much. But yeah, again, if anyone wants to help, please send me an email. Other people have assistants that do stuff like that for them or something. I don't know. I can't commit to anymore. Oh, and my fence is almost up. Well, the fence is up. So we just need to do the gate this week. And then I get to get my goats and chickens. So not just the property and the house and the cats and the business and the online stuff, more animals too. Yeah. Do I put the oils in her water? Okay, tell me specifically what oil and we'll get back to that question, because I mean, if you're talking about essential oils, I suggested just putting like a little drop on her pineal gland, just like on the forehead here, or even on a pillow or blanket next to her, right? So she can just like inhale, say the rose or lavender or something like that, right? They, yeah. Also, rosemary, so I dealt with an animal that was having like strokes and seizures. And so rosemary helped this particular pet, and it lived many more long years. So I don't know if you want to use rosemary oil or if you have rosemary plant, the herb, which of course you could just rub, on their skin, on the back, wherever. Yeah. Actually, I'm sorry. Spirit's telling me you actually do need rosemary, so I hope you do have it. Yeah, stick with rosemary and lavender. That's what. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, DE. Stick the DE in her water, or his water. Sorry, I can't remember. His. So I'm assuming. Well, just in case you don't know how to use the DE. So like for me, I take 2 tablespoons in a little bit of water, stir it up, and suck it down. So like for a pet, depending on how big the water bowl is, the pets like it. It's delicious, That's like pets usually eat like mud or drink muddy water, right? They like the minerals. So it's not going to be obtuse or anything to your baby. So just, I don't know how much, 2 tablespoons in a bowl and stir it up, because so it can, if he doesn't drink it right away, it's going to settle, but whatever, just get the DE down there. All right. Seriously, don't feel dumb. Whatever. You're not. So, let's see. So I'm sorry she's dying. I swear, if you have the paste or oil, like a RSO, and can make that or acquire it immediately, I guarantee it'll be instant comfort, for sure. And if you have modifilan or some other seaweed, stick that in their food. Coconut oil, fish oil. All right, so picture this, $30 a year. Oh, it's $30 a year. Okay, sorry. Love it. Teaching me tons about every weed I have or come across. Yeah, I really like it. And it's not always accurate, right? Especially when things are smaller. So, if you're not really sure, do it again, check the same weed again, or if you find another one that looks like it, or wait till it gets bigger or whatever. But it even does trees, even when they're dead, I'm like, that's a stick. How would you know what that is? So it does a really good job, I think. I think they give us some truthful information, but it's our job to discern and put the puzzle together. I don't think they'll be spelling it out for us. Right. And so when people like us, Derek, are spelling it out for the masses, that's why we're in trouble. That's why they had to come down with the hammer and shut us up, because it's not fair for us to give the kindergartners or the 6th graders or the 12th graders the PhD work or the answers, right? They have to go through their own classes. So it's right. So just as they're not spelling it out for us, we're not supposed to spell it out for anyone else. That's my understanding. Yeah. At least the people we're trying to spell it out for don't want it. You know what I mean? That's why we all just end up preaching to the choir pretty much. But eventually somebody does want new information, and that's when it's okay, right? If somebody comes seeking it, that's okay. But if we're out there, hey, here's all the answers. All right. Do we have to ask ourselves, what are we censoring internally to understand why we are out picturing censorship into our reality? We could ask that too, right? Yeah. Always, because I don't buy the we create our entire reality thing ourselves, because there's such a thing as collective stuff, but I don't subscribe to the theories that are put out there by the people speaking the loudest. So I'll try to do my best. But here's a super simple: do we really create our reality, or are our thoughts responsible for every single thing? So person A doesn't want to be raped. Person B wants to rape person A. Again, person A is seriously serious about their thoughts and not wanting to be raped, but person B is serious in their thoughts about wanting to rape person A. So person A and person B go for a hike. Who wins? They both have different thoughts. They both have different realities. Either somebody's going to get raped and not get what they want, or somebody's going to rape someone and get what they want. And that's just simple and crude and straight to the point. You know what I mean? So not everything is exactly because we created it all. So, but on another level, the test is there for us and our benefit. So did we choose the test? And a lot of times, like, so the creating thing, we are creating all the time, whether we believe it or know it or not. And so that's where it gets kind of tricky. So are thoughts enough to create your reality? Sometimes, in super rare cases, sometimes. As a general rule, it also takes action along with that, right? So when there's a fine line between what we create based on our consciousness and what we create based on our lack of consciousness, and what is just there that we just have to accept, which is part of a different lesson. I hope I'm making sense with that. That's my understanding. I'm not saying I'm an expert and that's the right way, but definitely, Dominic, we could also, definitely, it could be a reflection that if we're censoring parts of ourselves, right, or wearing a mask or whatever, I've talked about my experiences bringing certain things that I didn't like into my life because of, my thinking was definitely a huge part of it. Or the shame that I had, or the trauma that I had, like, when I brought up earlier about people making fun of my laugh or my voice. So I was self-conscious about that too, right? So I definitely co-created that incident, right? And so that was a useful tool to help me overcome that shame. Needless, right? Like, why, but that was part of finding myself. So can we create everything exactly? You know what I mean? Probably not. I mean, if really there's anyone that could do that, Biden or Trump, or they wouldn't be our only candidates, really. You know what I'm saying? There would be, like, somebody would have created a better reality by now for sure, right? Somebody would have stopped the child sex trafficking by now, right? Somebody would have stopped the chemtrails by now, right? And are the chemtrails reflective of what's in my mind? I actually don't think so. But I do think that it's a test of overcoming and keeping myself, my spirit, my immune system, everything healthy so that I'm not affected by what they do, right? So, yeah, I don't think that, really any of us are, say, responsible. Hopefully there's nobody here that's responsible for chemtrails or, sex trafficking or whatever. But yeah, so sorry, that was such a long run on. So yeah, I'm sure there's definitely truth to that, Dominic, but it's not always like that cut and dry. I mean, how really to think about, well, I create everything with my thoughts. Then what about the other 7 or 8 billion people? What are they creating? How narcissistic am I to be that delusional to think that I can control the fates of 7 or 8 billion others? We can, what's in our sphere, and that goes back to the staying in our own damn lane kind of thing. And all of these outside things are tests to help bring us into who and what we really are. Now, if you know who and what you really are, these tests don't phase you anymore, right? They only phase us. We only get all stressed out when we don't know. My opinion, again. Okay. It's nice for kids in school to have a cool older kid as a tutor, though. It is when it does happen, but it hardly ever does. So you're a warrior and healer. I've seen you stand up against thugs and watch wildlife find refuge with you. Love you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love my animal babies. Okay, well, can't wait to hear Christie's response. Okay, I've been running my diffuser. Good. She's very fluffy. Aw. And she can take out an armadillo shooting from the hip. That's right, one hand. She rarely drinks, but she loves food. Well, then you can sprinkle the DE on her food. If she has like a wet or a soft food, just put the DE right on that and then mix the oil right in there too. Yeah. Okay, I adopted Bella after she was rescued from a breeding cage. I cried when I saw her touch grass for the first time. Aww, but she just ran and hid. I now see I am codependent. Dude, I am powerless over my addiction. Yeah, I have definitely become quite dependent on these cats here. They're just... I don't even actually... Did I actually live before I had 7 cats? Was there really a life before this? I can't imagine a life without these 7 cats. And like in May, I might be saying, I hate these cats, and how am I supposed to live with 13? I hope not, but it could happen. But then, a month after that, I'll probably say, was there life before 13 cats? How did I do this? Solipsism is BS. Yeah, Derek, I agree. I mean, yeah, clearly. I mean, we might be all aspects of a working unit or something, so to speak, but no, I did not create all this in my head. You do, because if I was going to create this in my head, you wouldn't be sitting on the other side of a fucking computer screen. You know what I mean? You'd be right here in my living room or in my garden or, So, yes, you exist. I exist. We are the centers of our own universe. But no, I'm not talking to myself. And neither are you. I've had that many outdoor cats before. Wow, cool. Yeah, they're indoor, outdoor. And the warmer the weather gets, the more they want to be outside. I think there's, how many? I think there's 3 inside right now and 4 outside. I had the door open all day, which I've been doing a lot, but then I end up with snakes in my bedroom. Or I don't know what that big one today was. It was like a baby groundhog, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. A lizard the day before. So yeah, lizard, snake, they're killers. I can't do shit about it. All right, thanks for your pearls of wisdom. Christie, I'm not sure about the create your own reality thing either. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's really narcissistic. It's psychopathic. And people want you to think that. And it's part of the whole blame and shame people thing, you know, like, oh my God, recently. So there was this chick on a channel and I happened to be there for a live one. And I think it was the first live one for this chick. And I'd seen another video from her that I thought was cool. So I'm like, oh, yay. And she was pitching this law of attraction stuff. And just basically telling people that if you're successful in your business, you know, then you're doing it right. But if you're not, you know, you're just not in the right business or you're not doing it right or, you know, something like that. And so I asked a question that was supposed to be helping others kind of think, well, you know, because she's talking about people's purpose. And so I'm like, well, what if people don't want to pay you for your purpose? So she went on this whole diatribe to correct me because apparently it was all about me and nobody loves me and it's my negative thinking and that's so, and everything I typed, she didn't listen to the whole thing and it like came later. So eventually I'm just like, I'm done. I'm not, you don't even understand what I'm saying. I'm just not even going to try to explain anymore. But that literally gave her an hour to talk about how stupid, basically, we are blaming us if, you know, I'm so sick of that. Like, oh, well, law of attraction, and you're just not doing it right, Dominic. That's why, you know, your mom's mad at you, or that's why you know, people aren't paying their bill, or, you know, just, I don't know. It's gaslighting. It is fucking gaslighting to shame and blame. Look, some of these things are tests. And again, we're all in different classes. We all have different tests. They're not the same. And guess what? The people with the toughest tests are because they have the greatest path. All right? Like the people that aren't being tested either aren't real humans or they are incapable of passing the test, right? So they end up being the placeholders in your life that want to keep you going along with the narrative that they saw on the news or something, right? They're not like people that are actually going forth and making their dreams come true or creating something or, you know what I mean? Doing anything on a substantial level. And, you know, I came to that realization long ago, the ones with that people hate on, right? For a silver spoon or this and that. Like, I don't hate on them. I feel sorry for them because they have no fucking skills. Like, they can't do anything for themselves. So they had to have one of those paths where everybody does everything else for them. Yep. I'm thankful for mine. I don't know. I spent most of my life not thankful for my path and feeling like a victim and feeling like everything I did was wrong. And if I think this, but the rest of the world thinks that, and there's millions of them, then clearly I must be wrong, right? So then I was gaslighting my own fucking self. That's not good shit. That is not healthy. Michigan winter and they never want in the house. Wow. Amazing. Get ready for your stick bugs because they're coming. I think we have roles to play in the greatest show on earth. Did you see those stick bugs harassing me last year? Oh my God. We get lots of fucking bugs. Stick bugs, stink bugs. I'm seeing when I'm digging up rocks and asparagus patch and stuff. I'm just... Bug season's coming, but the weather's good. All right. Get ready. I think we have roles. That's why I was abused since birth. Yeah. So I was abused since birth until I wasn't. And I'm not saying that to minimize your path. I am saying that because for all my life, that was all I knew. So that's what was comfortable. And yeah, so did I attract those people or was I attracted to those people? And I think I was attracted to those people because, again, that's all I knew. I did not know that it was abuse, right? I thought it was totally normal because he loves me or she loves me. Or nobody will ever love me like that, or whatever, right? It's like even when my daughter was raped, she didn't know that rape was bad. She knew how to describe what happened, but that was her friend. She knew that it didn't feel good, but again, that was her friend. And I was the bad guy for getting rid of him. So, you know what I mean? We really don't know. So when we do get out in the real world and we find out, holy shit, that's not normal. And then we start taking self-responsibility, not blame, but responsibility, right, for our environment. So if you're in an abusive situation, you leave or whatever, you know, obviously that's simplified here. I've done those videos, but until I played the nice guy, I had all those new age fucking freaks on my show trying to, preach all this nicey nice stuff. Don't get it, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't until I got angry and made friends with my anger and stood up that the bullies left me alone. Period. End of story. Dude, the bullies are afraid of me these days. Like, it's so funny who and how many people I scare. But that's because I'm me, all of me, at every time, and I don't give a fuck. And if you don't like it, it's not my problem. You're not paying my bills. I don't give a fuck, And that is true freedom, man, right there. So, yeah, getting back to, I wasn't trying to minimize by saying like I was abused since birth until I wasn't abused, but that's, pretty much how it works. And all of those situations, like I don't even talk about that as if it was like a poor me thing. I'm like, and in fact, it all just looks like tests, right? Because those tests, those lessons made this person that you're talking to today. And I wouldn't be that person without those so-called traumatic experiences. And I know that we can make pain our friend and turn trauma into triumph. And that's going to be its own video. But I hope you understand I'm not trying to minimize or anything. And I know that we have the power to step out of any of those situations, even if it makes you homeless, even if you have to live in a tent, even if you have to live in a van or a moldy shed or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so boogies! What up, Pimp T? Oh, how's it going? Okay. Oh, Derek, I prefer to send lots of money to Joel Osteen because he preaches the prosperity gospel. Dude, okay. I have these images from a Twitter thing today that I had to put together in one image because I thought my response was that good, really. Because, you know, I'm funny sometimes. So here's the dude. His name is Reverend Dr. Chuck Curry. And that's his picture. Says this Easter, those of us who are Christian have the opportunity to live out the greatest commandment when we hashtag wear a mask and get the hashtag COVID vaccine. This is an alleged doctor, pastor of a church. Wait. A church that are normally based on faith in this higher power that, you know, I thought Jesus like healed the sick and shit, but, you know, what do I know? So my response, wow, your God has some serious problems if he doesn't know how to design a proper immune system to protect you from a cold with a 99.97% survival rate. Yeah, so anyways, you should keep giving them your money, Derek, because apparently their God is incapable, so they need the government, the CDC, and your money. So, I don't know, maybe they just don't believe in healing anymore. All right, I had to let go of a 30-year-old friend when she hounded me about Ronavax and science and Trump and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I even had to get rid of another 30, 40-year-long one recently. It's just, if you're not aligned, you're not aligned. We're not going to stay in the same grade forever. It's okay, right? And, you know, here's the trick. To exit those relationships before there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, in fact, my ex, Dean, we went out one night and we're sitting and we're looking at this couple that are always looking away from each other and totally miserable. And, you know, and we're like, let's make sure we break up before we get like that. And we're like, oh, deal. So, and, you know, it's not easy to leave someone you love, but you know when you're not equally yoked or whatever. Right? So I'm learning that. And that's something in the last couple of years I've had to learn, saying goodbye to people I love. You know, before I used to want like some dramatic thing to happen because then it's justified. Well, fuck you. No, fuck you. Oh, boom, 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 boom. And then you can like walk away and you have an excuse to never talk to that fucking bitch again. Right? But walking away from someone you love without it, you know, going to blows or regrets or harsh words or something, that's a challenge. Yeah. So I left my mom almost 10 years ago. She was such a dear. Yeah. I love you too, Turnell. All right. My hubby almost poisoned me. And when I found the 125 life insurance policy, I understood why I was so, oh, wow. They were all lessons. I'm so knowledgeable now. Dang. Yeah, dude, I met another chick that had a situation almost identical, like in the hospital for poisoning. And yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. See, we all have our crosses to bear, you know, and finding out that you're being betrayed and deceived by your husband or your parent or your loved one, That's pretty harsh. And I hope it doesn't make you harsh, because that's one person that did that. That's not everyone. But I hope it does. It did help fine tune your discernment skills, right? Because I know every time we're in situations like that, there was some, that's like, oh, I knew it. There was something ahead of time that we didn't want to listen to, right? I'm talking too much and my water is empty. I have another jug right over there I'm going to grab so I don't like cough and stuff. Yeah. And be all dry for no reason. Oh, yeah, baby. Jupiter. God, you're adorable. I love you. Aw, Persephone. Okay. Yep. I don't actually need this anymore, but yeah, I definitely need more water. Man is smarter than God, don't you know? Yeah, I know. They've been trying to pound that into my head, but Jesus thinks you're a jerk. I am a jerk. I agree. Faith is dead without works, and science says masks and vaccines work. Oh, yeah. Jupiter. You're adorable. All right. Oh, good one, Derek. That's hilarious. Christie's going to grab her jugs or is aided. I started losing old friends at the beginning of the Trump election. Oh, God, tell me about it. Yep. People were, they still are insane, but I don't really have to interact with any Walking Dead. So, yeah. I think Jesus was a jerk for not wearing a mask during the Sermon on the Mount. All right. Okay, so I'll just, I guess, so I know some of you came a little later, some of the updates. So I'll be starting back in radio, I guess, 10-ish days from now. ChristieAphrodite.com is the website. There's, all the different categories and listen live and all of that. So yeah, the Monday after next is when I'll start that. Monday and Thursday nights. Hey, Five Flames, how's it going? I'm just doing a little, update, wrap up or whatever for people who came later. So yeah, the radio will start again next Monday. And look for new things going on at mytrueessence.net. What I mentioned earlier, things are going to be changing. Unfortunately, some prices have to go up. I didn't do it. You go look up the prices of Magnolia essential oil or, baobab. That's just what happened, unfortunately, due to COVID. But not right away, but soon. And there will be more services offered. And as far as the work I'm doing here, I made a Facebook page. It's called Ozarks Church of Nature and Magical Food Forest. So I think the URL is facebook.com/Ozarks, plural, Church of Nature. So there's that, because I realized that everything's just so scattered everywhere, and that would just kind of cement it and put it, shit in one place. What else? Is that the last of the updates? It might be the last of the updates. Yeah, so the show's Monday, Thursday. Oh, and then another thing I said I wanted to do was my new herb and oil books. I just couldn't resist, but I thought it would be fun to do like a live video where you choose what we're going to learn. And I'll read the chapter of whatever page you tell me to turn to, right? And because we could do that because I don't have like hundreds of listeners, right? If there were like hundreds of live listeners, then it would have to be done different, like a super chat or something like that. And then that's who gets to choose it. But, you know, for now, right, I can easily read a passage for, I mean, I should probably limit it, right, like to 5 or something a day. But I was thinking if you like that, then I'll do that every, once a week. And we'll just, you guys pick the pages in the book. And yeah, we'll learn those books together. So, is that the last of the updates? I can't remember. If anyone wants to help, I won't say no. Yeah. And if any other topic related questions. So I just kind of basically explained I have to get over my damn self and not wanting to sit at a computer. And I'm really going to commit to doing this. And I have been writing more like herb stuff and posting a whole bunch like in the Extreme Healing for Warriors group and questions you're not allowed to ask. So there's also the My True Essence page there, the Nature Heals All, the Christie Aphrodite show group, Project Love Your Neighbor. Yeah, so if you guys are on Facebook, check it out. All right, Dominic, good to see you. Thanks for being here. All right, and thank you, Five Flames. Will this update be Christie V 2.0 or 16.0? Wait, which? Wait, what? Oh, I missed this. Anytime I ignored my intuition, I gave up parts of me. I do not accept this BS anymore, except when it comes to Bella. Oh, good. Yeah. When we learn our lessons, we learn them well, huh? But it's always like that. So, Joseph, what up? Every time I'm getting ready to say goodnight, then people show up. But yeah, no, I it would just be totally wrong to completely. Okay, yeah, I remember that name, and I remember the association now. Thank you for explaining that to me. Artist group, sing the banana song, right? Yeah, see, that's how am I going to be starting a show at this time and go 2 hours later? I don't know. But the earlier time would be weird too, because that's when I'm trying to get work done. And probably after I sit down and do a show and answer questions and then edit the archive and then upload it to the back end. And, I'm not probably going to want to get back out to the garden. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Ozarks, Church of Nature, and Magical Food Forest. And then the myterescence.net, and there's the myterescence Facebook page. And there will be some changes there soon. So yeah, if you are on the fence about something or a session or whatever, I cannot guarantee that all the prices will be the same forever. And yeah, it's not because I'm trying to gouge anyone. It's actually because I'm being gouged. And yeah, the fucking prices went up phenomenally. Just like they have everywhere else. Have you tried to buy any wood lately? Do you know? Oh, dude, $60 for a 4x8 plywood. $60. Okay. Even like 2x4s are going up and up and up and up and up and up. It's, yeah. So there's that. But yeah. All right. So unless there are any other questions or anything like that, I think I pretty much covered tonight's topic to the best of my abilities. And like Jupiter's still showing his belly. He is fucking adorable. I scared him. I love how he sleeps like that. He's just so comfy. And look, that's the mommy. And that's the daddy. And I don't know if any, I just think this is so fucking cool because they genuinely love each other. They're not just like, oh, I'm going to fuck her and take off. Like they literally, where's everyone else? They're gone. And those two are hanging out together. So that's the mommy and that's the daddy. I just thought they were having their hand at gay sex. But those weren't balls. So, and I'm secretly ecstatic about it, although it's probably not a secret. Yeah, so, oh, my babies. That's the daddy and the mommy. Do you think a cat ever in history has known their daddy? You know, this might actually be the first Love Cat comes in as we're talking about cats. Of course. Hello. So, yeah, this just might be the first time in kitty history where the kids are going to know the daddy. So the question is, are they really going to actually know that they even have a daddy? Do cats even know that? I know they have moms because even these guys still want to suck mamas, you know. But like, is Jupiter going to know that he's a daddy? Like, do you think he's going to know that those are his babies? Okay, and so this is crazy. Persephone has already gained weight, and so has Jupiter. Like, Jupiter is acting like a pregnant woman, and like he's eating for 5 or something too. So I don't know. I'm excited. It'll be cute to find out. Welcome, cat. Oh, that's funny. And Derek said the same thing. You're talking about cats, loving cats. Well, I know they know who mommy is because they want to cuddle with her and they still sometimes want to suck her. So, yeah, but the daddy thing, but I don't know. How come mommy and daddy are always hanging out together? I think it's more than just a fling. So it'll be so cool to see how that all happens. And I don't know. I think he's going to be a good daddy. He's such a crazy badass. So smart, so strong. And he, again, of all the critters that everyone has tortured or brought in the house or whatever, Jupiter, the tripod, had the biggest catch. Yeah. Jupiter's everywhere. Jupiter's everywhere. Ah, Jupiter's everywhere. Jupiter's everywhere. Are they siblings? Yes, they are. Yeah. So they were the two boys, the last two boys that were, I got the girls fixed first. Yeah. And you know the rest of the story. One was not a boy. But yeah, they love each other. They come in the house together. They eat together. And it used to not be that way. You know what I mean? They weren't like particularly best friends before. It's just been since they had their love affair. And he's been like a loyal baby daddy. Like, in, I don't know, maybe they're not real cats. I read a great young adult book when I was a kid about a tripod hunter cat. Awesome. Wow. Yeah, he's the shit. I've already bragged about him, how he's always the first one to figure everything out, but it's true. Somebody comes over, he's in their car. So he's everywhere. He'll be in the car, then I'll come upstairs and he'll be here somehow. And always he, he's so fucking cool. I love him. I love them all. They're all so cool. I'm blown away that he is still so, he's the one that figured out how to be a daddy. And he can teach us, cats can teach us a lot. And especially him with his injury, it never held him back. He didn't go like stand in line for kitty welfare and say, poor me. It stops him in no way. Slows him down? Not at all. Yeah. So I wish I was as cool as a cat. But yeah, they're all just so strong and so loving and so curious and so real. And I think he's going to be a good daddy. So on that note, who's going to be my daddy? No, Jupiter can be my daddy. All right, guys, I am going to call it a night. But I will definitely be back soon, and check the website, ChristieAphrodite.com, for the upcoming shows. I'll get those scheduled in here soon. And those shows, like I said, are going to be more herby and oily and healing based, because I can't be censored there. You know what I mean? I could talk about anything and I don't have to worry. I could just thought stream or, right? So YouTube will keep it more these philosophical stuff, and then maybe reading the herb books, and then work on the shows, and then the revamp of my True Essence is coming. So yeah, like I said, if you're on the fence, get the prices aren't gonna be the same soon. Yeah, due to COVID. So, but you still get good customer service, unlike everywhere else, due to COVID, right? So, and it's still fucking badass products that work. So, and last. All right. Oh my God, look. He rolled over to like hug her. Oh no, he just flipped over again. Let me do that belly. I was going to just show. Okay, you could see Jupiter's belly one more time. Oh, and there's those books, but yeah. Mommy and Daddy sitting in my bed. They are not right now giving head. Wait, that's not how the song goes, right? That's why I need to be censored. Censorship is good. Okay, guy, I can't get the fucking camera right. That just means I'm supposed to say bye. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to hanging out with you soon. Bye.